Gators have won 13 of their last 14, 7 straight. And here we go from Raleigh. Florida controls the tip in the 1-8 matchup.
Iron Eagles, Grand Hills right now. UConn, the Huskies got a little bit.
Florida known for that continuous ball screen action. Multiple bigs out there, great versatility.
Look at that screen, the low post.
Martin takes it to the cup hard.
How about Chinyelu just took over. Entree, easy.
This is the number 3 scoring team in the country, 85.7 points per game. Can UConn keep up with that pace?
I think UConn has to slow it down, make it a Big East matchup.
Caravan off the rim and rebounded by Clayton.
Watch him once he comes over half court. The bigs can drag other from the rim.
Richard lines it up, off, rebound, knocked around, and it's claimed by Martin. A reload here for Florida. The versatility of Condon, inside, outside. Chinyelu, so strong on the interior, but he missed it off the rim. And a rebound taken by Johnson for UConn.
Got to bail him out here.
Johnson gets it across into the hands of the reliable Hassan Diarra.
And they need the forwards to excel. McNeely, very talented kid, off a tough performance. Look for him to bounce back a little bit. There's that play we ran on the open.
Solo ball misses from 3-point territory.
But Florida thrives in transition.
Early offense too high for Condon, out of bounds.
And you do need the guards to balance. Ball did a good job there, Grant.
And UConn does a great job, though, with their transition defense. They do it, but they're going to be tested here against Florida, who overwhelms you with their depth.
UConn coming off the 67-59 win over Oklahoma. First single-digit win in the NCAA tournament since 2016 for UConn when they beat Colorado. McNeely, fake it. The fade. Doesn't go. Oh, what a rebound there by Johnson.
Wow.
For him to go airborne and grab it simultaneously to the contact, a foul call.
Oh, my. That is incredible. This Grand Hill-like, right? Look at
That's
that.
David Thompson-like right there.
What a good call.
It is Chinyelu on the foul. It is rare that you get a rebound highlight of that level.
13 feet.
Oh, man.
Get it in for Johnson.
Limiting the low post here.
Left hand short. And the defense there by Condon.
Once again, real good balance, early blur screens.
Clayton gets it back.
Tough match here.
Just has a smooth way about him. His movements, the miss, the follow goes. Chinyelu.
He carves out area. Goodness, big wide shoulders dominating.
6'10", 260, and very bouncy. 4-0 lead for Florida. 0 for 4 start from the field for UConn. Diarra matched up with Martin, 2 veterans.
That is the most deep in the shot clock.
Ball, the bounce, Johnson, the flip. Nothing going down. Ball trying to get his hands on it. He does. Shot clock winding down. McNeely doesn't go, and the buck's out there by Clayton. Richard on the move. Oh! Upstairs! Going to the upper room. Elijah Martin hammers it home.
How about Rashard? He had eyes and vision. Gorgeous delivery.
6-0 Gators.
Got to get at the rim and get to the foul line. Can't settle.
UConn trying to break the seal. Ball, the flyby. Off the heel. Caravan grabs it for the offensive board.
He's got to hit this.
Oh,
cast it up.
McNeely needs one to go down. It does. It's a 3.
He's a confident kid.
And Raph, early on, UConn has gotten good looks. They just have not converted. But man, this Florida team in transition is a force.
Incredible. McNeely had missed 13 shots in a row going back to the first round game. Diarra going for the steal. Clayton retrieves it.
Diarra really works hard on D. Nice kick.
Good help.
Martin will back it out. Deflected by Ball. Florida retains. Lob it up. Chinyelu could not catch it. Diarra the other way. He's cut off by Clayton. Now a switch. Caravan ready position. Can't hit the 3.
Got to turn and run and get back and identify against this Florida team.
UConn is 1 of 6 from downtown. Condon takes the opening and intercepted by Ball. Taken right back away by Richard. Battle for it. Condon, Stephen Diarra.
Give it up. Boy, he had Ball on the wing.
He goes across, and now McNeely. Deep one. Short. Rebound Johnson.
That's what they need. Second effort.
Ball lets it fly. That won't go.
Everything on the perimeter right now, Rav. Nothing in the paint for UConn.
Well, nobody explosive enough to turn the corner like this guy.
Clayton penetrates, loses the ball, out of bounds. Elijah Martin, you could feel his presence early. Martin taking the imaginary ladder to the top. Florida leads at 6-3. UConn is 1 of 11 from the field. Right now, let's bring in the 4th member of our crew. It's Tracy Wolfson.
Thanks a lot, Ian. UConn star freshman Liam McNeely grew up in a basketball family. He dreamed of playing in March, but as you guys mentioned, he struggled on Friday. 2 for 13, 1 for 8 from 3, and finished with just 8 points. Dan Hurley telling us he's just putting so much pressure on himself. He cares so much. This could be his only chance playing in the tournament. Hurley's message to him, though, yesterday, not every shot determines the fate of the world. Just get back to having fun and enjoy March. They're going to need him, guys.
No doubt about it. That is part of the one-and-done mentality, is you have this very finite amount of opportunities to maybe do something in the NCAA tournament. It's maybe something McNeely is feeling. Caravan misses from the outside. The rebound taken by Stewart, just checked in.
Reed on the floor. This changes the pace of the game. They got some power. Dump it inside.
The Florida can play him one-on-one.
Yeah.
They don't need to double him like some teams do.
I don't know why he's that far out, though. He's got to go in, duck in, be a little more powerful.
And some changes for Florida. Hanlockton and Hauk along with Aberdeen in the game with 7 seconds to shoot.
Rav, right now, 12 field goal attempts from UConn. 9 of them have been 3-pointers. UConn doesn't really have anybody that can get into the paint. The exception of maybe Reed in the post.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball gets deflected, turnover. Aberdeen bounces. Martin denied at the rim, but he sticks with the play for 2.
Oh, those turnovers in the open floor.
The way they change from one end to the other, Florida on the break, something to watch.
They are number 2 in the country in fast break points, 16.6 per game. Milwaukee number 1. So it's 8-3 Gators.
Switching on those pin downs. Reed's got to get in and beg.
McNeely, he draws Hanlockton on the outside. McNeely off the dribble. Kick it for the Stewart J.
Well, he makes those. What an addition he is.
Jalen Stewart, a sophomore from Seattle, cuts into the Florida lead. Diarra going for the ball, and he creates a turnover.
And a great show there by Reed.
Reed stepping in front for the steal. That is 5 turnovers now for the Gators early.
To get Reed in the box area.
Diarra scoops it up. Clayton is there, digging in defensively.
Forcing him deep on the floor.
McNeely circles, fires. It's off.
Not a good one.
And rebounded by Hauk. Aberdeen has provided some juice off the bench. A catalyst for the reserves.
Reed, another good job showing.
And Martin gets hit.
They need one out there. Cheap one.
It's going to be Reed picking it up. Second round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship continues today on ABC and the ESPN networks. For more info on the game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
Defensively, you can slow the game down if you're UConn, and offensively, get some action in the low box area. Their inability to dribble, drive, and beat you off the bounce, and settling for those jump shots.
Dan Hurley has sent Aiden Mahaney into the game. Todd Golden has countered with Urban Klabjar. Martin's jumper, it's pure.
And a little confusion, 2-on-1 there. Johnson got caught out a little deep.
His fingerprints are all over the first 7 minutes of this game.
Mahaney can turn the corner.
(11-6) Gators.
Their defense, you don't realize it because they're so good on offense.
Ball swing, Johnson way outside, shot clock at 5. Tight defense there from Hanlongton. Shot clock down to 2. Down to 1. Johnson gets it off and hits.
Nice look by Caravan.
And that's the kind of possession they have to have. Use the clock, work the defense,
Absolutely.
and get a high percentage shot.
Florida's field goal percentage defense, 16th in the country, 40%, limiting opponents.
Nice hands being big.
Caravan there. Ball trying to push tempo.
And no easy baskets, though. Great balance.
UConn currently shooting 20%. Off the zigzag, it's short from ball, rebounded by Aberdeen.
The bigs run right to the rim. Houck loading up.
Probing. Aberdeen push shot. Doesn't go. Kept alive. Hanlongton. But it's grabbed by Johnson. Aberdeen gets a piece of it. And we get a tie-up. Possession arrow to UConn. Huskies will have the basketball. Slow start offensively for UConn. Florida's got the lead in the West. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. Back here in Raleigh, and moments ago, Tracy with Florida Gators head man Todd Golden.
Coach, I can sense the obvious frustration early for you guys. 5 turnovers, though, very uncharacteristic. What do you attribute that to?
We're just playing a little too fast, a little sped up. We're trying to, make every play. We just got to slow down. If we take care of it, we'll be in good shape. It's allowed them to stay in the game a little bit. They're not turning the ball. They're taking care of it well.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, thank you, Tracy. This Florida team, #1 offensive rating in the country, according to Ken Palm. #10 defensive rating in the country. They bring it both ends of the floor.
I've got the answer for Clayton, though. He's getting accustomed to having a shirt on.
The meeting yesterday.
He came to our meeting
no shirt.
unprepared.
Yes. Yes. You look good.
Yeah, exactly.
Just no shirt.
Look at these long jumpers
And a foul is called on Klabjar, and it's going to be Ball shooting 3.
Wow. Boy, right now Florida should be taking control of this game. Connecticut is struggling with shots. I mentioned the turnovers, no question about it.
Yeah, we're at the turnovers and also the offensive rebounds. 5 offensive rebounds for UConn early on right now. So mucking the game up and making it a Big East style game is what Dan Hurley wanted, and he's getting that thus far.
First free throws of the game on either side, and it's solo Ball, an 85% shooter. Made some key plays in that second half when UConn desperately needed it against Oklahoma in the first round.
And is there a more overlooked player than Solo Ball? I mean, just last season as a freshman, and scoring numbers jumped tremendously from last year to this year.
He's a great open shooter,
Yes.
too. I mean, if he uses his screens properly and he gets a look, you can mark it down.
So you have Clayton and Aberdeen now sharing the backcourt along with Richard.
Nice little stagger. Get Clayton going. Boy, you can't relax on him.
Short, Houck, offensive board, powers in. It's blocked from behind, but a foul.
They are quick to the ball, too.
They're relentless on the glass.
Very much so. Now, kid who can beat you outside. Here, nice little slip, reads the shot pretty good.
It is Jalen Stewart picking up his first. So it's going to send Thomas Houck to the free throw line. 81% shooter.
And Bird, he can rebound, he cuts well, good passer. Mentioned the ability to make some threes.
Football background in his family as Chinyalu checks back in. Houck's grandfather, Mike Furman, played for the Baltimore Colts. His dad, Ryan, played football at Shippensburg. Mom, Jennifer, played basketball, or I should say volleyball. That was her sport, a little basketball.
He's a good-looking prospect. Chose Florida because he felt this staff could improve his play considerably.
Alex Condon back in, replacing Houck. So the Aussie is back in there with his team up by 3.
Now, he's played a lot of sports, the Aussie.
He has.
You care to tell us?
I was chastised yesterday for bringing it up. 2 days ago.
You wanted to talk about his Australian rules football background and cricket. Lob it, Johnson underneath, creating space. And the banker doesn't go. It's cleared by Chinyalu. Little stop and go by Clayton. Cutting out a dime. It's blocked by Johnson, but a foul.
Might be Mahaney underneath on the foul, but was that?
And they're going to count it. Goaltending.
You saw that burst right there, the little crossover, and smart. Johnson not quite back on defense, And right there, Clayton saw the lane, the opportunity, and it's so explosive. Great effort, though, by Johnson, who's a fantastic rim protector in his own right. But
hey, that was not over the cone.
Every time we get
Call
a
for
shot,
goaltending is under review.
every time we get a shot of Dan Hurley, that is a potential meme waiting to happen. His facial expressions, his reactions.
I like.
yeah, that looked like a clean block.
Absolutely.
Good catch there, Raph.
What a hustle by Johnson. Don't let this gray hair fool you, kid.
You've only had him for 40 years.
Oh, he is.
You said 4
amazing.
years or 40?
40.
Oh, 40, okay.
Now you're really rubbing it in.
All right, Gene Steratore is going to join us. He's watching the sequence of replays. What'd you see on this, Gene?
Boy, I think Johnson makes a great play defensively, guys. The ball's not over the cylinder, and to me, I think it's still on its upward trajectory. Understand the
Call for
goaltend call because they
goaltending
could
has been
review it.
reversed. It's an illegal block. It'll be a
I
two-shot
always
foul.
love Gene's analysis when he supports me.
Great job.
Seldom.
I should have done it more when you were coaching, Ralph.
Nobody supported Raph when he was coaching.
Exactly. Gene used to walk in with 4 whistles, you know.
So no goaltending, as Gene was taking us through the thought process. They get it right. It sends Clayton to the free throw line because of the foul call. You know, people always ask, how can you spot pros playing at this level? There's a certain way that players carry themselves. Walter Clayton Jr. carries himself like a professional player.
There's a certain air, there's a confidence, a swagger when they step on the court. And
But I wasn't sure about you when I saw you.
you had me confused
You
with
had
the
the
other Hill.
swagger.
That was Thomas Hill? Yeah, Thomas Hill.
Well, you turn on your teammate. You were an easy catch.
15-10, Florida in front.
See if McNeely can relax and take good shots. Think he can get in the lane and elevate?
You see him go inside.
Nice slip and a
Layup
finish.
good and a foul. It's Stewart.
What a look by Ball. Of course, you've got to recognize Ball. You know, he can stroke it from deep. They've got to run their action.
Yeah.
Just really, anytime they run those little ball screens, there's an opportunity to slip because they're going to switch inside, particularly with the power forward.
Foul on Aberdeen. Jalen Stewart, 71% shooter. With that soft touch, cuts the Florida lead to 2. One thing we do know about UConn, two-time defending national champions, they're not going to go away easily.
There's a toughness that Danny demands and gets.
Condon,
Nice.
the bounce. Clayton drives, kicking around the perimeter for Aberdeen. Stop, pop, foul.
Second.
2
right?
on Reed.
Number 2 on Terrace Reed.
See how the cheap ones cost you, though?
Yeah, well, that show
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
that early hurt him.
CBS Sunday, the home of TV's new must-watch mystery. Morris Chestnut stars in Watson. New tonight, After Tracker, and streaming on Paramount Plus.
And Raph, what you haven't seen early, though, is that high-low action with Florida where they seal inside. The interior defense of UConn doing a good job there. But
Chinyelu, with his foul situation, they took him right out.
Right.
And he was the one guy that could load up.
Diarra returns for the Huskies, and now Reed forced to the bench with those 2 fouls.
And they really didn't take advantage of his time on the floor. No post touch deep.
Florida has just 1 assist in the early going. And a lane violation.
This is a team that shares the ball. They get over 16 a game. Very unselfish group.
right here, just not concentrating
Chinyelu.
right there. Yeah, it looked like they both went in.
Yeah, they sure did. 16-13 Gators.
Nice matchup for Ball. He's got to keep busy, though. With Condon on him. Back screen.
McNeely comes to the ball.
There's your shot.
Drives in.
There's your
And
shot.
floats it home.
And I like that, too. Drop coverage there by Chinyelu. Nearly able to attack, get into that paint area, get a high percentage shot.
Little horns look. Really do a nice job overloading. Look at this. That's exactly what they did.
Ball is popping. Fly by. Aberdeen misses on a three. And a trip. Johnson goes down on a lunging rebound attempt. Chinyelu.
And Raph, great defense there. That possession by UConn. Multiple efforts, great contest and rebound. And McNeely just takes his time, probes, using that high screen and roll, get to the paint. Got to make a decision because Johnson is a lob threat. right there. Instead of settling for those threes, get some high percentage shots. His mom approves.
Ashley Elsey starred at Rice, Liam McNeely's mom. I think she knows we just mentioned her. Literally reacted like, that's right, I did star at Rice.
Well, that little jumper in the lane gets his confidence going as well. A little more active without the ball, taking advantage of his size.
McNeely, little body bump, kick it. UConn can grab the lead here. 9 minutes to play first half.
Good defense by Clayton.
Ball trying to feed the post. He does. Diarra, wild attempt, doesn't go. And leaks out. McNeely, no good. Rebounded by Richard.
Boy, you're vulnerable on those kickouts.
Inside, you got a mismatch in the post.
They love to run to that rim.
Ball is trying to deal with Hauk, who now extends to the outside. Richard takes the baseline, loses it because Diarra gets a piece, and it's out of bounds off of Florida.
And how about Dan Hurley? Has his team ready. They are competing, not giving up anything easy to this high-powered offense. And the correct call, great hands by Diarra. Turnover for the Gators. Another one.
UConn only trailed Oklahoma for 17 seconds in the first round. It was tight, though. You could feel the pressure building late in that game.
I think Oklahoma's defense prepped up for this on the pin down. They got a foul.
So the shot will not count for
on
solo
Johnson,
ball.
on Johnson, I believe.
And it was tough right there. You had a mismatch. Hauk was trying to guard Ball. A little pin down by Johnson. Out. You see Ball fade into the corner. Johnson moving his feet a little bit.
Yeah, right there.
Got his arm or his elbow out. But I like them going at the mismatch there by UConn. Just could not convert.
They're going to end up playing very small. They get another foul on the bigs.
And that would have given UConn its first lead of the day.
They really slip great, don't they? Out that time.
Clayton, jab, drive. Denied by Johnson. He pinned it against the glass.
He does not give up on a play. Well, ever since Danny started coaching, his dad the same. It was all about defense and rebounding. They get some offense. They're a lot different.
Dan Hurley animated as usual on that sideline. We will hear from the UConn head coach, two-time defending champion, when we come back. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com. During the timeout, Tracy with UConn head coach Dan Hurley.
Coach, you're shooting just 24%, but it's only a one-point game. How have you been able to disrupt them so far?
24? That seems high. We're just playing so hard, and we're really guarding. And, you know, they're so big at the rim that we're going to have to make threes if we want to have a chance to stay in it and win it. But I think we've gotten a bunch of really good ones, too.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I mean, they really have. I mean, they've been tough. They've come out with a blue-collar mindset, that championship medal. And right now, Florida seems rattled by the aggression and the physicality of this UConn team. UConn down one, has not played well offensively, but their toughness on display.
You can't give this kid looks.
Hauk comes up short. Long rebound. Hauk trying to save it, but he tosses it to Ball. Ball and Caravan are a combined 0 of 7 from the field, yet UConn is only down by 1.
Last couple of trips, Ball has been the point.
Had a slip action there by Caravan.
He's very good without the basketball. There it is again.
Swing it. Caravan buries it.
What a call out of the timeout, though.
And Florida switching everything, Rap. I'm sorry. And you can get confused with all the action of UConn. You have to be disciplined defensively.
First lead on an 8-1 run. Layup doesn't go for Hauk. UConn #1 blocking team in the college hoops statistician. And Martin misses on the 3, makes the 3, and Florida goes in front 19-18. This is what Florida's bread and butter is.
35% from deep. He's a tough competitor, too.
He's got 12 of their 19 points.
No confusion. Nope.
There you go.
Hard drive. Finishes with the left hand.
He's got to mix his game up a lot more. Don't just settle. Put it on the deck.
Clayton calls out a play.
The Arrows played him well. Actually has forced him to kick it more than finish.
Hop step, spin, can't get it to go.
0 for 4 right now. Clayton not involved at all. You're right, Diarra doing a good job.
He's a tough kid.
Caravan has scored the last 5 for UConn. They lead 20-19. We approach 6 minutes to go in this first half.
When they run their action, they get deep in the shot clock, and it makes you talk and communicate.
Ball. No.
Good block out.
Sampson lucky he pulled the shirt, got away with it.
They are 3 of 14 from three-point land.
Nice
The catch and the layup for Houck.
And Raph, the first time we've seen that tonight.
Absolutely. Martin with the look. And you got to play Martin too, so pretty easy for him to dump it in.
Thomas Houck makes the most of his minutes. It's been an X factor for this Gators squad this season, coming off the bench.
And more than a fisherman.
Gators up by 1.
Automatic switching here. There's the confusion. Nice
Wide open.
find.
Caravan, no. Long rebound to Ball.
Long threes, long rebound.
UConn gets a reload here. McNeely, shake and bake.
Good defense by Condon.
Paul
Steps.
travels. Officiating crew, Ron Groover, Courtney Green, and Tommy Morrissey here this afternoon in Raleigh. Continental bragging rights are on the line as Mexico faces off against Panama in the CONCACAF Nations League Final. Coverage begins tonight, 8 Eastern, streaming live exclusively on Paramount Plus.
And Raph, that last possession there, that turnover, they tried to go off the bounce one-on-one. That's not how UConn is getting open looks here. They're running their stuff. They're getting whatever they want.
And it was Ball, too, who doesn't like to go right. They read it beautifully.
Martin moving without the ball. They hand it to him with 15 to shoot. Clayton. And that jumper is all nylon.
Great getting available. Quick feet, unselfish slap back. Knockdown.
Clayton, his first field goal to give Florida a 4-point lead with just under 5 minutes to go, first half.
Little dribble drive. How about this handoff? Nobody's blowing that up. A little nylon by a tough competitor.
Back here at Lenovo Center, game summary, Florida in front by 4. They are 8 of 20 from the field, but they turned it over 8 times. UConn limiting the mistakes. Martin has come up huge so far for the Gators.
With all this switching, you got to take advantage of mismatches. And even if you can't get by guys, you've got to get in the gap a little bit and then find somebody. Can't be all perimeter. They don't have a low post presence at this point. Connecticut, that is.
UConn season average is 48% from the field. They're shooting 28%. McNeely, hard drive.
I don't know.
Contact.
And Raph,
They got a foul.
Yeah, Raph, once again, getting Johnson in screen and roll. You had the drop coverage there from Florida. McNeely getting downhill into the paint.
Hanlugton got him in the face.
I know, talk about face guarding, but that was...
Might be next level.
Oh, man. And you want to be smart in that situation. Just be big. You know, put your hands up, you're 7 feet.
And it gets this guy going, too.
Exactly.
He sees that baby go in, 2 of them, all of a sudden, pretty confident.
86% free throw shooter out of Montverde Academy.
Pretty talented team last year at Mount Vernon.
Yeah. As a kid at Duke, I heard, is pretty good.
Yeah.
24-22, Florida. Aberdeen back in for the Gators. Martin lines it up. Rims out. Rebounded by Johnson for UConn.
And Stewart right there as well. They can be patient now. Look at this mismatch now. I think he can get in the lane, give a little screen, McNeely.
Working around the perimeter, Diarra.
Shuffle cut, back screen, and they are a load to defend against.
McNeely thought about it. Now a switch with Hanlugton. McNeely off the dribble, layup. Doesn't go. Follow does. Caravan crashing the glass.
Anytime they go over to help on a block, opens up that opposite side.
Tie game, 24 apiece, 7 points now for Alex Caravan. It's our first tie of the day. Clayton, his jumper, he's got it.
Loaded with talent right there.
He is unbelievable, but how gave him a little option there? A vision impaired by the screen.
8 points now for the first team All-America, Walter Clayton Jr. 27-24, Florida. A lot of dribbling here for Caravan.
2-on-1. Move it.
Swing to Stewart. Misses on a 3-ball. Tracked down by Johnson. The cutter. McNeely rises up and throws it down.
And Raph, another second chance opportunity. The switching on defense. You have some weird lineups, and UConn just more active getting those loose balls.
Johnson just never stops. Leaves it all out.
That is their 9th offensive rebound of the first half.
Nice denial by Diarra.
The steal. Diarra streaks in, but missed it. Howe gets back defensively. And a push.
Caravan from the rear. He hustles Howe, though. Doesn't give up on a play. This is Sampson at his best. The 5. Ring the bell, big fella. Montford. He's back, baby. A little more confidence, Mom says.
We mentioned Montford Academy. A lot of talent in this year's NCAA tournament from last year's squad, including our matchup coming up with Duke against Baylor.
Yeah, that's almost unfair, all that talent on that team. I think last year's team, they could have been a Sweet 16 team.
Unbelievable talent. Coach Kevin Boyle, by the way, the coach. I gave him my last scholarship at Seton Hall. He watched me coach. He said, I'm out of here. He went to St. Peter's.
He scouted you, apparently.
Oh, man.
Intelligent young man. What a job he's done there, though.
Chinyalu is back in for Florida. They lead by 1. We approach 2 minutes to go in the first half.
This is the dancing.
Martin, the floater on a baby hook.
And a good defense there, better offense. But you know what? Right now, it's pretty much all the guards. The bigs of Florida not able to really get much involved on the interior, Raph.
And the first time an ISO totally one-on-one.
He has scored 14 of his team's 29 points. McNeely, 2 defenders in the area. Mahaney crosses. McNeely, the jumper, doesn't go. And it's rebounded.
They don't get back.
Clayton gets it ahead.
Richard, a tough defender as well. No. He didn't need much room, does he?
Out. Mahaney couldn't grab it. The save there, but it goes to UConn.
5-on-4 if they want.
Chinyalu trying to get back defensively. Ball movement leads to ball. Give it up. Johnson! The power of Sampson.
See, now they will opportunity fast break. A great read. 5-on-4. Take advantage.
Florida had 53 points in the first half on Friday. They have been held to 29 in the first half so far. Martin spins, trying to create a shot with the offhand.
I think over the top.
It is. Going the other way.
Chinyalu, I believe.
Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam Zucker, Clark Kellogg, Kenny Smith, Wally Zerbiak. They're standing by in New York. Insights on the first half and a preview of what's ahead.
And Bernard, that's Chinyalu, which I think it is. It's number 3.
Number 3 on Chinyalu. It forces him to the bench. Houck returns, playing alongside Condon up front. And UConn can regain the lead with under a minute to play until halftime.
Mahaney can get in the lane and cause some damage, particularly with this matchup.
St. Mary's transfer gets there.
Over the top, Sampson.
It's just one on Sampson.
Sampson Johnson throwing his body around. And it's number 2. 37.1 on the clock. Free throws here. That is team foul number 7 against the Huskies. 1-1 for Florida.
And Raph, you have to just be impressed with UConn. All the adversity, all they went through this season, it's almost, it calluses you. You know, it brings you together, it strengthens you. And they have needed that here as they've struggled offensively, but making up for it with hard work and effort.
And something that Dan Hurley talked about. We're battle tested. We feel that as a group. We can go on a run. And those are confident words from a coach and a program that has accomplished a whole lot.
It stems from the top. I mean, he's industrious, perseveres, he's demanding, great relations with his players. And as tough as people feel he's with officials, it's just the opposite in those timeouts and in practices. He's hard, demanding, but fair.
Florida is 7 of 7 at the free throw line. They tied a season high, making 27 free throws against Norfolk State. There's a 6.5-second difference. Shot clock, the game clock. Johnson hands to the veteran Diarra.
Caravan with a little flare screen, keeps busy.
4 to shoot. Diarra, tight defense there for
shoot it.
Martin. Diarra, that's a deep one. It goes.
Wow. Got to keep him in front of you.
Tied at 31. Clayton gives it up at the horn. Richard around it out. What a half. UConn is fired up.
The Irish 23rd Trey Bird. Not known for that. Known for his defense, but when in doubt, get a little nylon from Queens. Texas A&M's contribution to UConn.
It is the #1 seed in the West going against the 2-time defending champions, and we're all tied up. We send it over to Tracy.
Elijah, a fight here early. What is UConn doing to disrupting your offense?
They're denying us, and we just got to be more patient, more sound, and more physically strong with the ball.
You, as one of the leaders with experience from FAU, what will you tell your team in the locker room?
Just stop coming up with excuses. Do what the other guy's telling you to do, because we all got one goal, is to win. So that's going to be my words in the locker room.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy, end of the first half in Raleigh. We're all knotted up with UConn and Florida, 31 apiece. We're going to send it to AT&T at the half. Coming up after these messages. Back here in Raleigh, let's check out our Intuit TurboTax first half stats. UConn has held to 32% shooting, but they hold Florida to 38% shooting. Turnovers, 9 of them for the Gators, only 2 points off of those turnovers for the Huskies. Moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Huskies big Alex Caravan.
All tied up with the #1 seed. How much confidence is this team playing with, and how can you carry that into the second half?
We got a lot of confidence. We're building off the momentum against Oklahoma, and we feel like we're playing really well right now, and we haven't been hitting our shots, so we're excited for the second half.
What does this one come down to?
It's going to come down to defense and rebound, and that's what we've got to lay on the entire season, and if we defend and rebound, I think we got a great shot.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Ian Eagle, Grant Hill, Bill Raftery. What's working right now for UConn? How are they disrupting them?
Well, they're slowing the game down. They're using the clock. And really, they're really just out-toughing them. They're playing with great effort. They're making it the UConn style of basketball is work to their advantage.
Nasty? Is that what you're saying?
Nasty.
You didn't say nasty. You said nasty.
Toughness. Okay. You know, one game, 44 points Florida scored against Tennessee.
Yep.
Little similarities. The toughness defensively, Tennessee. You know, this UConn team, tough-minded, and they have 2 rings. And that does resonate in the locker room.
And defense travels, always. And Dan Hurley knew that coming into this matchup. Now the question, how does Florida handle it? They're the #1 seed in the West for a reason, and the season that they put together.
They are a pretty team. They're a tough team. Nice little diagonal.
High off the window. It goes in and out for Richard.
And right there, Samson Johnson, his presence altered that shot there at the rim by Richard.
A great set, though, to get an easy look.
First tie at halftime in the NCAA tournament so far. Caravan puts it on the deck. He's tied up.
And
Same way.
It looks like to start this first possession, Florida not switching. They did a lot of switching in that first half, caused lots of trouble on the glass, and also in getting free open looks for the Huskies. But now staying home with your man for Florida. See if they stick with it.
And Bird, the big thing, the forwards have to be moving for UConn to be good. A lot of screening and slipping. Caravan and McNeely.
Shot clock down to 7. Diarra
Pretty.
puts it upstairs, and Johnson with a big-time flush.
Just enough, Diarra.
Yeah.
Keeps you honest, little hesitation, lets the big get to the rim, big time.
And Chinaloo worried about with that three fouls. He did not contest on that alley-oop.
Johnson already has 10 rebounds. Now he has 6 points. The jumper is off the mark for Martin.
Nice look by Clayton, though.
McNeely, the handles. Defended by Martin, just over a minute gone by in the second half.
Here's their action now. A lot of back screens, slips, blurs.
Diarra
Again.
catch, Johnson, easy release.
And they're not communicating. Goodness, everybody's eyes on the dribbler. How about Sampson? There's just enough of that offensive end.
Clayton, driving kick, Condon, power move, he's fouled.
I'll tell you what there, that was set up by Clayton. And that beautiful drive, but Diarra just getting into the paint, little confusion as you said, and always a lob threat, Johnson. And confusion here. Martin switches, doesn't switch with strength. Great awareness finding Johnson. And you said these guys, Johnson and Diarra, Caravan championships. They were a part of the 2 championship runs.
Yes.
And now they have more prominent role with this team in showing that championship pride.
They are not accustomed to being an underdog, but you get the sense they kind of like it.
They do.
They've been in that other role for so long.
They brought that underdog mentality here.
Condon's a guy who's got to step up defensively. He talked about that Australian football to us, where it gives him the strength with the shoulder.
So the 3rd foul on Johnson, he sits. You mentioned Condon in the background. His dad, Damien, a Hall of Fame professional Australian Football League star. Mom Leo was a swimmer for Australia. Rebound knocked around, controlled by Ball.
Sounds like Grant's family. The star was his dad in that family.
Yes, indeed.
Bounce it. Diarra. Oh, the Hesse. It goes and one.
In this tournament, you never know who's going to provide a lift. Diarra, we always talk about his defense, being solid, scoring. Obviously, that 3 before the half. But just a great cut here, nice little dump down, and Ball at the point has made a little bit of a difference.
He has. Great pass, great cut. And I love how Diarra goes right into the body there of Houck, forcing the refs to make that call.
So Houck picks up the foul. Diarra at the free throw line. This is the largest lead of the day for UConn, and Diarra adds to it.
Not been able to use the bigs, Grant. They got to get them involved, I think.
Last 5 games, Florida has averaged 94 points per game. They've got 32 right now. Clayton bounces inside. Condon kick.
Nice shot.
Clayton 3. Off the side of the rim. And the rebound controlled by Reed.
What a shutdown by Reed, and then he gets the rebound as well. Heads up play.
So this is a 10-1 run, bridging the first half.
When they're busy, they're better. The forwards. Back screen. Look at the slip.
Ball. Deep one. Doesn't go. Condon flies in for the board.
This is what they got to do. Get out in transition.
Martin forces his way in with the left hand. He's fouled.
Almost a charge right there, but getting stops and getting out in transition is what's needed. Martin attacking there. Feet moving a little bit there by Ball.
I like the call.
It was a good call.
And now I like the new rule too. You plant that foot, call it.
First foul on Solo Ball. Winner here will play the survivor of Colorado State, Maryland, coming up later from Seattle.
And Raph, we talked with Todd Golden yesterday. We talked about his team last year. They weren't tough enough. And they had the early morning 6 a.m. workouts. They brought in Martin and Chinyalu and really tried to instill that toughness, and it translated on the defensive end. Well, that collective toughness will determine their fate here in the second half.
Absolutely. The Marine drill, running the step, get the rope. By the way, I asked him if he did it. He said no. No. That's for others.
Elijah Martin just missed on a pair of free throws. So another empty trip for the Gators. The pressure builds as the #1 seed. You look at the scoreboard, currently down 6.
He's good in here now. Gets it, very patient.
Reed turns. Layup doesn't go.
Make it, but he's so patient.
Get it ahead for Clayton. Shows it. Houck off the foot of McNeely.
Nice save.
And he does save it for Clayton.
They've taken away the top, the back cuts, Bird.
Trying to get rid of it. Finally, Clayton with 10 to shoot. Releasing from that screen, but he's got no room to work. So Clayton goes one-on-one with Caravan. Clayton fires. And he's fouled in three-point territory.
Again,
that was tough.
The landing area.
Caravan did a decent job, just a little too close, as you said, the landing area. I don't like it, though. I like when you attack a mismatch. Clayton settles there.
He went forward.
Clayton Yeah, Caravan.
At that size, you can stay right where you are.
Yeah.
How many jump shots are blocked? 3-point shots, seldom.
Caravan didn't really jump. Tried to get closer to close out there.
They have missed 4 free throws in a row. Watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break. Presented by Nissan and the March Madness Live app.
And Bert, to your point, 85% as a team. This kid, one of the best.
They're going to have to ramp up their energy, their body language right now. They've been punched in the face here a little bit, and to get back and try to win this game for the Gators, they're going to have to show some life, some energy. Because right now it's all UConn.
They have not been to the Sweet 16 since 2017. And trust me, the Sweet 16 was not their focal point.
And this is what they're doing now. Little 1-2-2 they like to do to shake it up, force you to play at a quicker pace. Almost go up with a steal here.
Double team on McNeely. Now Reed will wait into the hands of Diarra. It's a 4-point game. Just about 4 minutes elapsed. Second half. Diarra the bounce. Great vision. 2. Caravan for 2.
Again, sneaking a peek and paying for it. And Diarra keeping that bounce. Beautiful delivery.
UConn playing with ultra confidence. 40-34. Huskies. Denial there. Reed forced Condon to go out near midcourt. 10 to shoot.
Now, you don't want to foul if you're Reed here.
Clayton the catch. Diarra there defensively, and he threw it right to McNeely.
He's smart.
Lots of mistakes from Florida. McNeely crosses over, but missed it on the interior. Condon looks ahead. Clear it. Richard.
Pretty good balance. Thought they had a run out, Florida.
Richard's 3. Fire.
A nice dribble handoff.
That cuts the UConn lead to 3. Richard showing some fire. 15-18 mark in the second half. A timeout called in Raleigh. We've seen history from these two programs. Florida, back-to-back national championships. 06, 07. UConn, back-to-back 2023, 2024. Last 5 to do it. Duke, Grant Hill and company, 91-92. UCLA, of course, their historic runs under John Wooden.
67-73, all those championships.
We stopped going. It was almost boring.
You knew what was going to happen.
You knew the result before you got there, but your run was incredible.
It was special. Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, obviously Coach K, and certainly these programs, Florida and UConn, both have experienced that. And UConn's trying to keep it going.
Got to get over the timeline here.
They just do with Diarra. Out of the timeout, UConn leads it 40-37 over the top seed in the West Florida. The ball up for grabs. Turnover. On the move, Richard. He's going to take it all the way.
Lost control.
The foul is called. He was going all the way to the cup with a Statue of Liberty move. A timeout in a 3-point game. And Adam, winner there, will play the winner of Oregon, Arizona in the East region. We'll have Duke and Baylor coming up. Our tournament summary. Coach Calipari, number 10 Arkansas, eliminating number 2 seed St. John's in the second round. Calipari, second head coach to lead 4 different schools to the Sweet 16. Big 12 having a good run here, 9-1. Houston advancing to its 6th straight Sweet 16. That is the longest active streak.
You know those two fellas on the screen with the mask? It was not Bill Murray or Jim Moran. I just want to be sure.
It was not, as far as I know. It was a member of the Blue Man Group, apparently.
Oh.
Another free throw here for Will Richard. He can cut it to 1. Send it over to Tracy.
And Todd Golden's sticking points in that huddle. Compete with pride defensively. No backdoors, finish possessions, and play with positivity. The final words in that timeout. We have 31 wins. We've been taking it to people. We need to get back to doing that today.
And Bert, you leave ball alone. Nobody was on him. No sense of urgency.
solo ball puts UConn in front 43-39. The assist to Caravan. Back in by Condon. Hand it. Richard gets inside for two.
And nice dribble handoff in the post. You don't see that often.
Not often, right?
But you're right. You got to identify shooters. UConn making the right decision there last possession.
You know, Florida in that 1-2-2, I would attack a little bit more. It enables them to run clock, to be more patient. You got to rev them up a little if you're going to get back in this.
Caravan forced to give it up.
Oh, not a good play here.
And it's out of bounds. Fortunate for UConn that it was touched by Florida.
It's just the ability to make shots down in here. Look at this. That's that pressure. You got to get back.
You got to get.
But Caravan made a good move, drew the back guy, but the southpaw, hunting of a stroke.
Change here for Todd Golden. Hanlogton back in. He replaces Condon. Diarra gets it upstairs.
Go.
Catch by Reed. It's blocked from behind. Foul called.
Look underneath, there might be Richard.
Once again, the switching, taking advantage there. Reed had that mismatch. Nobody on the weak side. They spaced the floor. Not many people can guard that young man down there on the low block with that wide body.
But, you know, defensively, they're playing the inbounder with a big guy.
Right.
Therefore, a little guy had to get up against Terrace Reed.
And the first point of the day for the junior, Terrace Reed.
And we talked yesterday with Todd Golden about having elite alertness against the multiple actions of UConn. And they have not been alert. Been a little too casual at times. You got to have a head on a swivel and be paranoid defensively against UConn.
First time in UConn history that they are an 8 seed. They currently lead the 1 seed in the West. 44-41. UConn on top of Florida. 1 out of 2 for Reed. Hard drive. Couldn't flip it in, but a foul.
Wow, number 3.
Is that 3 on him?
Yep.
Is it 4?
It's 3. LG OLED Evo AI, the best TV in the game. So free throws here for Thomas Houck.
Showed some speed going to the rim there, didn't he?
And not settling, attacking.
So you have Johnson with 3 fouls. You have Reed with 3 fouls. Dan Hurley was going to send Johnson back into the game. He just sent him back to the bench.
And they're going to yo-yo them down the stretch now with their foul problems. Houck's grandmother's a big basketball fan. He was telling us as well. Gets to a lot of the games, watches them. Big upside, don't you think?
I agree. Impressive young man. We had a chance to visit with him.
Sophomore from New Oxford, Pennsylvania. 1 out of 2, 44-42 Huskies. Aberdeen outside defending Diarra.
Hanlon is going to have his hands full if they go inside, I think, on Reed. Running their stuff. Nice pin down.
Reed will hand it to Stewart.
The mismatch.
There they go.
Get it to him. Foul call from behind against Houck.
Look at what they did there. They got the 4 seconds, too, to get what they actually wanted with that dunk in.
I mean, so many plays that they run, and they got the switch, as you said. Great seal inside, no help. Houck is 6'9", but giving up a lot of size there on Reed.
They go small on the inbounder this time.
Send it. Ball off the mark. Follow, doesn't go. Diarra. Reed grabs and finishes on the interior.
How tough has he been? But Diarra kept it in play for the cleanup.
Terrace Reed Jr. has given UConn a 4-point advantage. Just over 7 minutes gone by in this second half.
Dean at the point right now.
Jumper Richard. Caravan grabs.
I like the way Diarra has played this game. He has been terrific.
He's controlling tempo for UConn.
Everything, his feel, his insight, competitiveness.
Stewart, he's going to flip it. Ball, the catch.
Nice play.
He
Heads up.
saves it off of Martin. He sensed that he was falling out of bounds.
A good defensive play, too, over there.
And now Mahaney will check back in to replace Diarra just to get him a breather.
And Martin with a good hustle play to cause that chaos.
Liam McNeely will come back in for UConn. So Reed remains on the floor. He's playing with those 3 fouls. Johnson on the bench with 3 fouls for the Huskies.
Yara sitting right now, too. He's been so good, as you guys were talking.
Well, that's why Mahaney's got to run the show now and be solid.
Early steal a few minutes with him out.
Caravan way off. Rebound controlled by Richard for the Gators.
7 seconds. Could get better.
Aberdeen, shake and bake. Wild attempt, doesn't go. Rebound ripped down by Reed for UConn.
And Raph, he had Houck in an early seal there in transition, but Aberdeen tried to finish on his own.
Good defender, though, isn't he?
Mahaney,
There you go.
takes the opening and scoops it home.
A dribble drive and nobody at home underneath. Reed had lifted.
UConn has won 53 straight games when allowing 66 points or fewer. And right now they've held Florida to 42. Gators look discombobulated in the first half, thrown off their equilibrium, trying to regain it here. 6 to shoot.
I would work on Reed. Get it inside to him.
The pull-up. Aberdeen.
He's showing some talent right there. Big-time shot, but once again, good defense, forcing a tough shot there by Aberdeen.
How about this kid out of St. Mary's? Big-time delivery with the big lift.
The guard play matching on the other end. Guys off the bench, stepping up big. And welcome back. The Gators improved defense this season, but a lot of missed coverages here. Guys not communicating. They didn't know when to switch. Easy 2 inside. UConn makes them pay. And here in the second half, a lot of back cuts. Not paying attention to your man on the weak side. UConn taking advantage. Right now, the Huskies plus 12 points in the paint, in part because of some of the mishaps defensively. And Bill Murray approves of his Huskies.
Who are you going to call? Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Smooth delivery, by the way. There's Luke, his son, on the bench with Danny Hurley.
And Bill just thoroughly enjoys every aspect of this.
He was searching for a little cash from us.
He did.
Last year was low.
Last year, Raph went to dinner with him and didn't tell us.
Yeah, that is true.
Didn't invite us.
Afterwards, he's like, oh, we had a great time.
He wanted somebody with a sense of humor.
Entry for Reed. Shot clock is down to 4. Reed makes his move, trying to back in on Hanlofton. And the baby hook doesn't go. Rebounded by Hanlofton.
Good D. Hanlock.
48-44. Huskies.
See if Clayton can get going. A nice fill. How?
Can't hit the 3. Tip in, no. Another tip doesn't go. Hanlofton. Out of bounds.
Foul. Wow.
It's a push.
Really one of the few times tonight that the Gators had an opportunity on the glass 2-3 times and missed opportunity. I don't know if that was a foul. Looks
Should
like
be Florida's ball, I
Yeah.
think. Just to play on at this level.
But you have to appreciate the effort. Certainly Todd Golden getting some life and activity from his bigs.
Send it over to Tracy.
And Dan Hurley loving the defensive and rebounding effort by his team. He told his guys, they are feeling the pressure. We've dragged them into a Big East fight. He said, stay strong, no moments of weakness.
It does have that feel to it, no doubt. Mahaney gets it back.
He can shoot it.
Mahaney, and he's fouled in three-point territory.
They throw over the top. Clayton trying to negate that opportunity.
And they teach that re-screen action. I mean, they're so
the best
good.
at it.
Yes.
They're the best, really.
Just patient. Comes off a dribble handoff and you want that contested for Clayton, but you don't want to foul.
So they get the graze on the arm from Walter Clayton Jr. Mahaney, a 77% shooter at the stripe.
Such a great run at St. Mary's. Struggled this year in and out. I'd like to see him get on a little bit of a run here for UConn.
Stepping in for Diarra, who is just getting some rest on the bench. He was a two-time All West Coast Conference selection with St. Mary's.
Ball is asking the assistant coaches, can I go back in over there?
Interesting, out of that last timeout, you had a tip-in opportunity down at the other end for Florida. Missed a foul, and then, of course, you get a contested. Yeah, so, I mean, 2 possessions here could really create some separation for UConn.
2 out of 3. Chinyalu, who's back in, along with Condon for Florida.
The ball talked his way back in. They thought he'd make the third and get him in.
Chinyalu playing with 3 fouls.
Nice pass.
Inside, Chinyelu rocks the rim, and a perfect setup by Clayton.
And Raph, maybe the best offensive possession there for Florida this half.
And use the screen and slip. Big fella at the 10.
50-46, UConn. Mahaney with Martin.
Somebody's got to get it out of Reed's hands.
Way outside for Reed. He hands it to McNeely.
Again.
Shot clock is down to 5. Caravan
Tough shot.
off the heel.
Nice
Stewart
play.
knocks it over to Mahaney. Another reload here for UConn. McNeely inside, and the ball pops up and out. It's a goaltending as Reed was looking for the flush.
Boy, confident with the bounce. Nice little shovel pass as well.
Well, once again,
McNeely with a good read.
his hand went right through the bottom there. Once again, another offensive rebound leading to this confrontation at the rim. Yes, great call there.
Alex Condon went inside the basket trying to block it. So put 2 on the board, 52-46 UConn.
Nice split.
Splitting the defenders, but it doesn't go for Clayton. It's been that kind of day for the Florida Gators. Diarra ahead, Stewart couldn't get it to drop. And it's cleared by Chinyelu.
Clayton was very late getting back. He looks like he's hurt on the left side. Until he gets the ball, maybe.
Clayton one-on-one with Stewart. The cutter, Condon, extra feed, and a throw down by Chinyelu.
And that's smart. You know UConn's going to trap, screen, and roll. A little short roll there. Buddy ball action inside with the bigs. Good possession.
The chomp has not been as sharp today for the Florida Gators, but you look up, it's just a 4-point game. 8:37 to play. Huskies in front.
Chinyelu back on the floor right now, but what's impressed us, I think, the most, watching Florida getting ready, bigs can pass the ball.
Oh, their bigs are very unselfish. You haven't seen a lot of it here tonight. Give credit to UConn. They've taken the bigs out of the game. But the big passing and the big on the offensive glass, they dominated that this season.
And UConn, 5 of 23 from 3-point territory. Ball is 1 of 7. Caravan 1 of 7. McNeely 1 of 6.
They got their starters back right now.
Johnson hands it off. Ball lets it fly. Does it go? And the rebound controlled by Chinyelu.
Short. Gee, plenty of time.
We approach 8 minutes to play in regulation. Two-time defending champions in front, 52-48 against the #1 seed in the West.
They love that
High-low action.
The Horns look into this action.
Caravan fighting good inside.
Clayton, he buries it.
He doesn't go away, this kid. How about him talking about Rick Pitino? He lost 30 pounds playing for him, getting ready for a season. You think he loves the game?
He was a star for Pitino at Iona. He has cut into the UConn lead. They're going to review the shot. McNeely misses on the inside, right at the rim. Get it ahead, running the floor. Oh, full attack mode, but he couldn't throw it down.
And Chinyelu with his 4th foul.
Yeah. And the bench right now, Florida complaining that Martin was fouled on that dunk attempt, but you're right, 4 on Chinyelu.
The miss, and then the foul is called against Florida. Rough sequence for the Gators. Game summary, UConn leads Florida 52-51. They've got 28 points in the paint. They've gotten a lift from their bench. Let's clean up some of what just took place. The first question, was it a 3 or a 2? It is a 3. Clayton was clearly behind the line, so that's why we have a 1-point game. The second question was their contact, Martin going to the rim. Caravan gets out of the way, and then the butterfly effect because he didn't make that dunk. There's a foul called on Chinyelu right there, his 4th.
Disastrous. The leg, Caravan's leg got him. I don't know if it should be a foul or not. I don't know how you feel.
It's tough. Chinyelu, I mean, first of all, right now, Golden opted to keep him in the game, but yeah, just kind of in the wrong place right there. Just turned around and looked like McNeely landed right in his space.
They've been tough the last few trips defensively. Florida.
52-51, UConn. Chinyelu remains in the game for Florida. Caravan got a 3.
Well, how about that set?
You knew at some point he was going to knock one of those down.
But he's so good without the basketball. They screen, gets turned, gets set, drills it.
12 points. He leads the Huskies, and he gives UConn a 4-point lead with 7 minutes to go.
That is a high-low. Little dribble handoff. He's got to get inside with the 4 fouls.
Richard spin, loses his footing. They got contact and a foul. It was ball. From tip-off to the final buzzer. Fan work is thirsty work. Refresh with Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever?
Give credit that last offensive possession. Dan Hurley out of the timeout, just diagramming that play.
They run. He's got pages of plays.
He got some plays for PJ's too.
A very thin dossier for PJ.
3 plays.
Martin knocked out of his hands. Richard lines it up. Oh, target! String music on a 3.
A hustle play by Richard. Love his D as well. Big time ticker.
Maybe go to Reed here with Chinyelu with that 4th foul.
Absolutely. And the other end, you got to give it to Chinyelu in the low box. He's on the floor. Use him.
Reed back in, replacing Johnson. Caravan trying to create space with Richard. 7 to shoot. McNeely.
Much better D here. Got to go.
Shot clock down to 3. Reed forces it up. Off the rim, no. Tracked down by Diarra. Caravan missed it. And the rebound controlled by the Gators. They can take the lead with 6 minutes to go. They showed 2 defenders at Clayton initially. Now he drives around Diarra and couldn't finish on the interior. Offensive rebound. Floater, no, but a foul.
Number 4 on Reed.
So it will be Chinyelu at the free throw line.
And Raph, you see why Golden left Chinyelu in the game. Good defense on the post down on the other end, and then his ability to be on the offensive glass now. He's not a great free throw shooter at 57%, but his presence, his toughness needed here down the stretch.
So a pair now for Chinyelu.
Connecticut's struggling to keep the ball out of the lane, too, with the dribble drive right now. Churning it up a little, slip passes.
Winner here plays the winner of Colorado State, Maryland in San Francisco next week.
So you know, excuse me, Bert.
Another one for Chinyelu. He's playing with 4 fouls. Reed has 4. Johnson has 3.
And Bert, now on the free throw, you know he's not good as a teammate and as an opponent. So you got to do your job squeezing or maybe anticipating quickly on the offense.
They started 8 of 8 at the line. They have gone 5 of their last 12. Missed opportunity for the Gators. 55-54, UConn.
Got to get into it a lot quicker than they beginning. Look where they're running their offense out here.
Florida's turned the intensity up defensively now.
Handed off Diarra. Shot clock at 10. Johnson not a threat from out there, but he can't pass it. Caravan with 5. Makes his move. Caravan body bump. He backs it in.
Let's see.
But there was a foul called on the floor.
I'll tell you what, the ball finds his hands when his team needs it.
Well, he's mixed it up.
He has.
He's been looking for jump shots consistently right here. Big time kiss. Hadn't planted the foot yet.
It's a 3rd foul on Hauk.
Well, against Oklahoma Friday night, he had smaller guys defending him. Couldn't really get off the bounce into the paint. But tonight here, he's got bigger guys guarding him, and so he's been able to take advantage. Caravan.
17 fouls on each side. Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Highlights, in-depth analysis, breaking news anywhere you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today.
They grant Oklahoma defense much more intensive, too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
They took them.
Florida has stepped it up.
Florida has stepped it up. You're right. Sooners took them out of their sets.
57-54, Huskies.
2 good passers as bigs.
Feed it, Hauk. Now it's Richard.
Look at that slip.
Puts it down.
That kid knows the game. Wow. Nobody at home, no communication, nobody alert in the back.
It's a 1-point game under 5 minutes to go. Ball gets Caravan involved. Back for Diarra.
Nothing at the rim yet.
McNeely, defender slow, falls down, and he's got called for the foul, Richard.
What a tough call.
That's tough. I mean, Edwards slipped before McNeely went into his play, but a beautiful set.
How about this little slip? Is that pretty? Big fella from down under.
A little double screen down and then a screen and roll slip, as you said. Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Edward trying to get over that screen and just slipped.
So it sends McNeely to the line. 1-1. 8th team foul against Florida. He is 2 of 2. Now 3 of 3.
Terrific free throw shooter at 85%. Probably learned that from mom at home.
Mom looks a little bit more worried than she was earlier, jumping up and down.
Big East Freshman of the Year. 2 out of 2. UConn 59, Florida 56. We're down to 4:38 to play.
Nice hands
the
by
turnover.
Diarra.
Poke away, Hout controls. Now it's Richard.
Don't let Clayton get it back.
Clayton the drive. Clayton the fade. Yes, sir.
Goodness, he gives it up. You've got to lock him up. Stepping up at the right time.
59-58. UConn. Clayton now with 15. Ball controls it. High screen Caravan.
They can get a slip with the bigs outside here.
Caravan the catch. The roll by Johnson. Leads in. Doesn't go, but a foul.
How about his hands, Sampson? That's a tough catch. Caravan confident with that delivery as well. But this is the guy. You can't let him get it back. Great footwork, some strength. Big time knockdown.
Second foul on Walter Clayton Jr. Samson Johnson at the free throw line. 75%.
Raph, how about his play tonight? I mean, 10 rebounds, 9 points. And he's just been big for his ball club.
His defense is exceptional, too.
One of the best.
He has really waited his turn for this UConn program. Coming through with a double-double. 10 points, 10 boards. 3-point lead for the Huskies.
They love that little play and that little pin down. He may have won. Look at this.
Swing. Caravan steps in front. Leak out by Diarra. Leave it for Ball. Lost it out of bounds.
I think the ball bounced back up into Ball's hand.
Turnover, Huskies. 3:41 to play. Huskies thought they had a man advantage.
Oh, I don't know if he got it.
Now it's time for Power Forward, presented by Nissan.
And both teams, high-level play at the rim. A lot of dunks here tonight, attacking off the bounce. The talent on display. Alley-oops, slips to the rim. Everybody getting involved. Not been bad defense. It's been incredible offense execution.
All right, let's go back to the call on the floor. This is super slow-mo. Richard gets a piece, but there's a graze by Ball as he tried to put it on the floor to get around him.
So are you saying that Raft was wrong?
I'm saying let the video speak for itself.
You're killing me. The bigs have done a great job slipping, particularly out of this set. There they go again.
Gators down by one.
An easy look.
They thread the needle. The basket won't count. Condon was fouled underneath. Clayton.
Number 4 by Sampson.
The toss inside. So you've got 4 fouls on Samson Johnson.
And that was an elite next level pass there by Clayton.
And boy, they should be accustomed to it, UConn, though. It's been run consistently the last couple of trips. It was a great look.
Alex Condon at the free throw line. He shoots it at 61%. He's been limited here today. New CBS Monday. Grab your gear and head out with an exciting new NCIS tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, and streaming on Paramount Plus. Another one here for the sophomore Alex Condon.
The ball's got to be busy. The arrow's got to be sound.
Missed it. Ball, the board. 2-point lead for UConn. They have made just 6 of their last 14 free throw attempts.
I like ball off the ball. The arrow on it. That's what they got right now.
We approach 3 minutes to play.
Nice fade.
Caravan, hard drive, tried the reverse. Condon is there defensively.
Good contest without fouling by Condon, but go straight up if you're Caravan.
Yeah, same side, just finish it.
Florida with a chance to tie or take the lead.
They got a mismatch either way.
Clayton, no look!
Oh, this kid, he is tough.
Special.
First lead of the second half for the Gators. 62-61.
He is chill personified.
No field goals over 4 minutes of game action.
Nice
But knocked away by Richard, and he darts out for the jam. Timeout, Huskies.
And
Team Richard loving it in Raleigh. Florida in front with 2:27 to go. Our game reset. Number 1 seed in the West, Florida, leading the 8 seed. UConn, 2-time defending champions, 64-61.
Right here, just great reach around. Deflection, outlet pass. Little stop defensively. We talked about how they turned it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
The screws on that end. And Richard, sometimes people don't talk about his efforts, but both ends of the floor making big plays.
Caravan going through, everybody on UConn thought he got fouled. He should have gone strong to that same side. Reed back on the floor. Maybe something down deep to him.
The last UConn field goal came at the 7:15 mark of this second half. We're at 2:29 remaining.
You got to value the ball if you're a guard. Yara has to be careful. Martin, excellent defender.
6-0 run for Florida. Ball to Caravan. Diarra now one-on-one with Martin. Hand it. Ball. Fires. Connects!
Dribble handoff. Reed, the presence of mind. How about ball speed and getting those puppies organized?
And Raph, Florida got a little bit confused defensively. All the switching there. Martin a little bit late, but give credit. Ball big time, getting to that left hand.
Exactly.
He's so
Danny had him coming to his strong hand.
He was 1 of 8 from three-point territory before that make, and we are all tied up. Condon tried to drive. Contact from Diarra from behind.
Trying to go over the top on Clayton. That's one maybe he should have short-circuited.
Condon almost turned it over right there. But you're right, as he was trying to go, he came back and
Diarra knows you can't give him an opportunity for a free look.
It remains 1-1. That's the 19th foul against UConn.
61%.
Remember, Florida made its first 8 free throws of the day. 1-point lead. Collectively, they are now 15 of 23 at the line. A second one for Alex Condon.
And Bert, they have elite defenders on the perimeter, Florida. So it behooves UConn to be careful with the
Short.
Look at this.
Controlled by Houck. That play made by Martin. Gliding to the rim. Clayton draws the foul.
I don't know if they gave it to McNeely or Reed. Boy, those loose ball opportunities.
that's on Reed. That's 5.
Yeah.
Not sure who they called it on, but
They got it on McNeely.
Martin got that deflection and great awareness right there.
This
Clayton.
guy, he is short of magnificent, right?
Explosive.
A heady player, some strength.
Out of Lake Wales, Florida, Walter Clayton Jr. Second attempt coming with his team up by 2.
You two go to the same sushi place, I think, right? Or you know the spot he goes to?
He talked about the spots he frequents. So impressive of a young man and confident and stepping up big for his team late.
The UConn Huskies have won 13 straight NCAA tournament games. They trail Florida, 67-64 with a minute 32 to play.
And Reed not getting the touchdown on the box.
McNeely for the tie. Doesn't go.
And once again, Florida got confused on the switches. They got a good look. McNeely just could not convert.
Clayton handles it.
There's some clock. Same play.
Dribble handoff.
Yep, same play. And then the roll. Nice help by McNeely.
Clayton. Got it! A downtown hit.
A lot of sushi for him.
Oh, sushi with some caviar, some onions on the side.
70-64 Gators. Big buckets from Walter Clayton Jr. First team All-America coming through for Florida. Now we're going to keep it right here. They're going to take a look at it, and they have confirmed it's a three-pointer.
The field goal by Clayton has been confirmed as a three-point shot.
Quiet early, let the game come to him. Just solid, and they run the same double up top with great success. He cuts under, back screen, dribble handoff.
Well, that's what happens when you have talent, elite talent. Ian talked about first team All-America, your stars making plays for you down the stretch. That wasn't necessarily great execution. That's just great talent, great basketball, and as you say, some onions.
And some great legs. How about his lift?
Hey, when you play like that, you can show him at the meeting with no shirt on.
Anything you want.
23 points in the first round. He's backed it up with 23 points here in the second round.
They got to get some quick hitters now.
Under a minute to go.
Drive to the hole or get Reed on the box.
McNeely crosses over to Ball. Floater up, rimming no, tip in, doesn't go for Reed. Florida controls the rebound.
Foul, almost intentional, or flagrant one as they say.
43.4 on the clock, and Condon is going back to the line for the Gators.
Now he alluded to his strength. He's not as big as some people inside, but playing competitive sports have enabled me to use my shoulder, my upper body.
12-3 run over the last 3 minutes.
Now you've been through this. This makes you pretty tough mentally if you get by this and you're Florida.
I'll tell you what, obviously, Condon misses the first of two, but Final Four expectations, you're going to be tested. You're going to have a moment. You're going to have a game where you're going to have to figure it out. You're going to have to fight through, and certainly it appears thus far that Florida has done that.
Mr. Boat.
Again, they don't come up with it.
Gets in for the big finish.
Got to squeeze it.
37 seconds left. Florida now in control. DR the drive. McNeely couldn't get the three off. Instead, he takes it to the rim for two.
And a timeout. Danny's got to be careful.
Yeah, Dan's got to be careful here.
Got to be careful.
Elijah Martin had 14 in the first half, finally got 2 in the second. Todd Golden improves. And Walter Clayton Jr. stepping up big. Big time shots, a nice little sidestep three-pointer when his team needs him. Of course, once again, big plays, unafraid, putting his team on his back, Raph.
He's a point guard that is great without the ball, too. Knows how to set his man up. He gives it up, gets back. Great footwork, too, establishing his jumper.
It was 61-58 UConn. Florida has since gone on a 14-5 run, trying to close it out with 28 seconds to play.
Right now, if you're Florida, you have to be solid, come meet every pass, be strong with the ball, assume they're going to get fouled.
And UConn, you got to jump passing lanes, anticipate. There they go.
Clayton over to Condon, back for Martin, and a foul given with 21.6 on the clock.
Richard was going to shoot it, I think.
And that was a nice press break right there.
Tough team to press.
They're a good passing team.
All of them, yep.
Elijah Martin is 0 of 2 at the free throw line today. 74% shooter. Went to the Final Four with Florida Atlantic. The experience, the physical edge, and approach that he's brought to this program.
Kind of.
You can feel it.
It was the only thing going for them in the first half with those 14 points.
He was tough.
On his defense, though, in the second half, particularly on the ball.
Makes a boat. 74-66, 21.6 to play. Diarra gets it in for Reed. We're down to 16 seconds left. McNeely drives in and banks it home.
Smart, not fouling.
11.9 on the clock. Clayton. That's too high.
A foul.
Trying to save it.
Push.
8.6 on the clock.
Wow.
Chance for 2 more. Sloppy play.
Well, Hauck was wide open on that pressure release. Just the pass was a little bit too high. Almost a 3-point play opportunity for UConn.
So McNeely to the free throw line. 6-point game. And the officials are going to take a look.
I can't imagine. Intentional, flagrant? No.
Game
For the
clock
push
is
from the
under
rear? Or a clock situation?
Probably just a clock situation at this point to make sure that they've got the precise number up there, considering how important that is down the stretch. Dan Hurley just showed Hassan Diarra how Florida guys have been pushing.
Game clock will be corrected to 9.1 seconds.
There you go. So half a second is added, 9.1.
They got to be ready. Anticipate 2 free throws being made. Get your big on the ball.
So it's Liam McNeely at the free throw line with his team down by 6. His mom has been standing from the opening tip. Five of 5 today. Jaden Ross will check in, replacing Reed.
Speed lineup right now for pressing. One trap's all you're going to be able to afford and give it.
Second one for McNeely. He gets the roll. It's a 4-point game. 9.1 on the clock.
They run a guard out.
Oh, contact.
They got it right there. It's a good call.
Yeah.
Johnson with Richard. And it's going to be a foul called going to the floor.
And Diarra tried to initiate an offensive foul there.
Eddie, good try. Yeah. Both guards did that. Right in here. We got the same deal here.
No, it's a hug.
Yeah.
Yep, gotcha. So Diarra is going to pick it up.
Some people are huggable. Some are not.
Will Richard at the free throw line. He's 4 of 4. It's another miss for the Gators.
Well, giving them a chance.
Trying to make this a 5-point game with 9.1 to play.
Imagine them if they sealed the deal on missed free throws, UConn. Fumbles.
75-70, Florida. 9 seconds to go in regulation.
Try and keep everything in front of you if you're Florida.
McNeely gets it back. 7 seconds.
Oh, bad foul.
Yeah. And it's going to be against Clayton
Stop the clock.
just as he crossed midcourt.
McNeely was going to bowl over him. Just let him go.
Understanding time and score right there. Just get out of the way.
He doesn't make mistakes either.
Yeah.
17 points for Liam McNeely. He goes to the free throw line now with Florida in front by 5.
Think now, make one, miss one. Chase it.
Just give UConn a chance here now, you know.
Coming in with Caravan.
Once again, they're just shuttling through the video to make sure they have the clock correct. The whistle blew there.
Right.
So it ends up at 6.1. They're going to tack on some time.
You figured it out quicker than them.
Are they looking at 6.7, 6.8?
The only difference is Bird doesn't have a whistle.
No, not one that I use. So both teams huddle up. McNeely is going to the free throw line, as you alluded to, Bill. You make the first one, and then.
But they're not bringing in bigs in case of the miss. They've got a small lineup. Not that they
Game
have
clock
many
will be
choices.
corrected. 6.6.
6.6.
You're a little off, Bird.
Little off. Not my job.
You're right. They do have the small lineup right here. So
he's going to make it.
maybe make it and then try to get a trap or steal.
A quickie, right?
You don't. You got to foul right away.
Trying to do anything they can to lengthen the game, to stay alive. Down by 5. Keeps making free throws. It's a 4-point game. Another one here for Liam McNeely, the freshman from Richardson, Texas.
Great free throw shooter.
And now they'll wheel Caravan back in.
Great sub right there. Get a chance to set up your defensive pressure here to UConn.
And this is a one-possession game. Florida bounces in, and he is fouled. Hauk from behind.
Now, Raft, when you have a big guy being guarded by a smaller guy, you don't throw a bounce pass. You throw it up high.
Absolutely.
He did it last time. It was a turnover, but still.
He gets free, though, doesn't he?
He does.
No,
Good feet.
You're right, though. Great point.
And now Florida's focus, just make this a 2-possession game. Do not give UConn any kind of miracle scenario.
80% on the line here.
Gets the roll. Florida up by 4. 5.9 on the clock.
I think UConn has to post somebody at half court. Once you get it in, look up.
Let the ball drop. Get your guys
Try and
set
hit
up.
him. We're looking at Reed.
77-72 Florida. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. McNeely fires it. A 3 at the horn, and it's over. Florida survives. They're going to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2017. And the UConn Huskies, 2-time defending champions, are out. 77-75. The #1 seed in the West region rallies for the win. Terrific fight. Florida had enough to get to the finish line.
I'm talking about we ran earlier. What a great test moving forward, though. You've been under the gun, different style of play. You're going to see a lot of variety with all these teams if they can get to the Final Four, obviously.
Feeling some pressure and adversity for Florida will serve them well as they continue forward.
Clayton finishes with 23. Martin with 18. And you can put Florida into the Sweet 16. They will be in San Francisco next week. Now awaiting the winner of Colorado State and Maryland. So Todd Golden returns to Golden State. He coached at San Francisco. He was the head man, took them to the NCAA tournament. Now he will represent the Florida Gators after the 77-75 victory. Send it over to Tracy.
I mean, Coach, what a game. The resiliency of your team. We'll talk about this guy in a second, but your team showed no panic. What did they show you?
We just stayed the course. Obviously, it didn't go our way for a large portion of that game after a good start. But again, our team's tough. We have great senior leadership. We just wanted to continue to be ourselves and do it a little bit better. In the last 6 minutes of the game, we did that very well.
Look at this. We got the whole team over here. Let's talk about this guy.
Yep.
2 huge threes down the stretch in those free throws. What is it about Walter Clayton Jr.?
Incredible player, great leader. Teammates believe in him. Great to have the ball in his hands when you need somebody to step up and make a big shot. His teammates stepped up for him today, helped us get this win, and he stepped up closing this victory out for us.
Walter, for you and for all your guys here to have the chance now to play in a Sweet 16, how does that sound?
Man, it sounds great, man. You know, we done had a plan. We know Gator basketball got a great history. We try to bring it back a little bit, so it's great that we're getting to this point.
We wish you the best of luck in San Francisco.
Go Gators, baby!
Well, the Chomp did have enough bite by the time we got into the late stages of this one. Florida improves to 32-4 on the season, and they are dancing on to the Sweet 16. End of the road for this iteration of the UConn Huskies, two-time defending champions. Coming up, Baylor and Duke. We'll send you to our studio, Capital One Tournament Central, right after these messages.